Welcome back to Embrace Life and Thrive with Sabrina for episode number 6. Talking about hope through infertility, hope through our health journey, whatever our circumstances are, finding hope, finding peace, finding everything we need to walk this journey, walk this road that God has called us on. It can be a road that we never imagined that we would have to travel, a road that we don't know how we're going to travel. Regardless of where you are, I'm here to remind you that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And in spite of what our life circumstances are right now, He has a plan for us. Are we willing to take time to learn His plan for us? Are we willing to surrender our hopes and dreams, our expectations to Him, and let Him live out His plan through us to touch the world, to touch those around us in ways that maybe they wouldn't have been touched? Their life may have not changed without the experience that He has called you on. Infertility is a whole different ballgame. There's so much involved in that journey. If you've been on this journey, if you're currently on this journey, you understand that words can hardly describe what it feels like to be called to walk the infertility journey. I always had this in the back of my mind that it would be something I would probably be called to walk just because of my hormone issues that started as a teenager, and doctors just right out telling me that there was a 50-50 chance that I would ever have children of my own. And I mean, that's for everybody, but they pretty much made it aware to me that I more or less would have the struggle and may need assistance with infertility treatments. I put my health and everything on the back burner as I just enjoyed life, pursued my goals, and knew when it was time for me to cross that bridge of growing my family after getting married that God would sustain me. He would give me answers. Looking back, though, I wish that I had invested a little bit more in my hormone health, specifically with having children in the future in mind, and not just put it back on the burner. So if you're at a part in your life where maybe you're not yet married, or maybe you're married and not yet ready to start having children, and you know that you have some health concerns around this reproductive health or any other health concerns, I encourage you to pursue it now if you're financially, emotionally, physically able. This will help prepare you for the time that when you are ready to have children, it won't be so it might not be so hard to accomplish. Whenever I hear somebody is going through infertility or pregnancy loss, I don't always know what to say. And I give people grace because when they respond to me, they often don't say the right things, but I know they're trying. And so oftentimes if I don't know what to say, I usually don't say anything at all, or I just tell them that I'm praying for them and I understand where they're at right now, even though I don't know what to say. And oftentimes I just pray for them because God ultimately knows what each person needs and when they need it. So hope for infertility, it can feel daunting, especially if you've been on this journey for a long time. I know people that have been on it for years and years and years and still no light at the end of the tunnel, per se. So being able to find hope through this journey can be sometimes challenging. I am thankful that God helped change my perspective to view this journey as an opportunity to get to know Him better and an opportunity that others may see His goodness, His love, His compassion, His mercy, His miraculous power through my story. Whatever the outcome was supposed to be, In my mind, I traveled this journey of infertility, and one day I will get another pregnancy test that is positive, and I will have a healthy pregnancy, a safe delivery, and a healthy baby, and I will hold that baby in my arms, and I will be able to announce to the world that God is good and He has led me through this journey. And this is the outcome of me trusting Him with this part of my life. That keeps me going, knowing that God knows my desires and He sees the end from the beginning, and He knows exactly where I need to be when, and He knows exactly how to make that happen. We can come up with all the plans, we can come up with all the strategies, we can come up with all the money, we can go to all the treatments, but ultimately, when the time is right, the Lord will do it. If you're on a journey, whatever it may be, it may not be infertility, and I pray to God that it's not, because it is a journey, it is an experience that I pray that less and less people have to travel. So maybe you're on a journey of emotional healing, physical healing, whatever it may be that brings you here today. There's hope. There's breakthrough. And sometimes it doesn't come when we want it to. Most times it does not come when we want it to. It doesn't come as quickly as we want it to. But, when the time a year from now and you're looking back, where do you want to see yourself? And with that vision in mind, what are you going to do today to help align your life with that outcome? And this is hopeful. This is where you're planting the seed of hope that in a year's time, you will be healed. In a year's time, you'll have that positive pregnancy test, or you'll be holding a baby. You're planting that seed of hope. So it's important that we're cultivating the garden of hope and not of doubt, of fear, desperation, and all the emotions that come with infertility and other health issues. It can be overwhelming, especially when we have tried everything. We have exhausted all the options. We used all the money that we possibly can, and still no answers. Or the answers that we're left with leaves us hurting even more than when we started. So cultivating the garden of hope, what does that look like? And it may look like different for each person. But cultivating the garden of hope looks to me like praying all throughout the day, just whatever comes up, even if it's not related to the issue at hand, infertility, health issues, financial health, whatever it may be. Just praying throughout the day as you go through your daily routine, your work. Just talk to God. Just have a dialogue with Him about what's going on, how you're feeling, different things that are happening. This is watering and cultivating the garden of hope. Another is investing in the outcomes that you want. So deciding to make the lifestyle changes, deciding to make the hard decisions, to decide to cook dinner at home instead of going out to eat, buying vegetables instead of, fresh vegetables instead of canned vegetables, or frozen vegetables instead of canned vegetables. I'm deciding to invest in a good book instead of watching TV late at night. Cultivating the garden of hope is making decisive decisions every day to help you in your journey to achieve the outcomes that you desire. So instead of drinking soda, you're going to drink water. Instead of eating that cookie, maybe you'll have some fruit instead. Maybe instead of wallowing in fear, pull out your Bible and read some verses that reassure you that God has a plan for your life and that He's moving and that He's working. How we live today shows if we're cultivating, if we're watering, or if we're not, the garden of hope. It can be hard when we've been on the journey for a while, we're doing all the right things, and yet we're not seeing the outcomes. And we wonder if we're on the right path, if anything will ever change for us. And this especially gets harder when we see other people receiving our prayers. I have experienced this personally in the last few months, where I have prayed that God would touch my womb and give it life, and I would be the one with the positive pregnancy test. And not long after praying that, I will see an announcement of a friend that is announcing that they're pregnant. And I am super excited for them. But at the same time, it is natural to feel like, is God hearing me? Does He have a plan for me too, to be able to have that experience? He does. It may not be in our timing. And most times it's not in our timing. But as we cultivate the garden of hope, knowing that God has a plan, and when the time is right, He will perform it. He's a God of good things. He gives us good gifts, and He withholds no good thing from us, right? We have to believe that in order to experience it. So believing that, we are cultivating the garden of hope. And if we set our mind on Him, He will give us the perfect peace to be able to travel this road that He's called us on. And the desires that we have in our hearts that are not coming to reality, He planted them there. He has given us those desires, and they are good. And so, in the meantime, in the waiting, we can cultivate our relationship with Him, our relationship with others, and truly thrive where He has us right now. If we see our life through the lens that God is in control, He has great plans for us, He loves us, He withholds no good thing from us, then we can triumph. We can rest in knowing that He is working on our behalf. And it's just a matter of time of Him revealing His goodness and His love to us as well, like He does it for many other people. So today, it was all about cultivating the garden of hope, knowing that God is working in our behalf in spite of what we're going through. We can trust Him in knowing that He sees the end from the beginning. He knows what tomorrow holds. He holds the future. And He has ways where there seems to be no way. So we can trust Him. We can trust Him with our lives, with our desires, because He is working. And when we're not seeing results, we continue to press forward. We keep making those decisions. We keep thriving. We keep striving until our breakthrough, because it's coming. It's coming. All right, I'd say that wraps it up for what I have for today. As always, this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical advice. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button, share with a friend, and leave a review on your preferred platform. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, continue to embrace life and thrive where God has you planted right now. Because He has a plan for you, and He will not forget you. He is working. Cultivate that garden of hope, and know that in due time, you shall see the reward of what you've been praying and waiting for.